chartered accountant and company secretaries, both term is there. You have to be in the whole time practice. In Institute of Company Secretaries, we have liberalized to some extent that company secretary can be a partner, can be a director in the company, but he cannot be a whole time director. He cannot have a substantial interest. He can hold the shares, but he cannot hold the shares of more than 25%. In LLP also, in companies also. So he can be a director, he can be a partner, but he cannot be a whole time director.
And even managing director.
Even managing director is a whole time director by default. Yes.
Sir, I would like to ask one question about the responsibility or duty of director. See, if we note in a minute, कि particular director is assigned with the responsibility of making annual filing, and then if that director does not make it, so do we call only that director as officer in default?
No,
all directors?
it's the responsibility of the complete board. You cannot say that this director is responsible for that. For that, certain like financial statements. So director finance is always responsible for that. Primary responsibility will be his, but whole board will be responsible if there is a fraud. So you cannot do that.
There is no escape route to this actually.
There is
It's not
no
at all
escape.
possible even if
People are writing that I'll not be an officer in default, but it is not a correct way, because if there is a defining of officer in default, there is a definition that every director who is responsible. In case of officer in default, to a particular extent director can escape that I have assigned this job to a particular person, so I am not officer in default for particular this thing. But it is not as a whole. It is not a escape to the whole Companies Act. For a particular provision where officer in default liability is there, where specific liability and penalty is there, like Factories Act. So Factories Act, you have to define an occupier, and occupier has to be a director. Earlier, before this Bhopal gas plant, occupier was somebody else, factory manager. So if there was anything, he will be liable. So they have defined, no, one of the directors should be occupier. So that's
so. Is there any specific provision for the 100% subsidiary of a foreign company?
there is a
Any specific provision for the directors in case of 100% subsidiary of foreign company?
Yes, there are many provision, because if you are a like 100% subsidiary, it's basically, it's not called 100%, it's a wholly owned subsidiary. So wholly owned subsidiary will also be treated as a public company. In case of foreign company, their place of business. So different set of rules, different set of provision is there. Definitely.
But
Specific thing, there are so many things in the companies.
But as a director responsibility.
Every responsibility is directors. Because whatever the provision under the Companies Act, whatever the provisions of any of the statute of any of the act. In India, if I'll ask from any of the director, how many laws are applicable to you? Nobody can ascertain. Because so many central acts, so many state acts, and so many local acts. If your driver is running the car of the company, met with an accident, then it's a responsibility of the person whose name that car is. So there are so many responsibilities.
it's a collective responsibility of the board as a totality.
Yes.
It would be there, not with any individual.
Not with any individual.
But there is there should be an Indian director now, as per the new.
That provision is there. One of the directors should be a NRI. One should be a director, not NRI. Earlier it was happening that all directors are NRI. Whenever you will find them, you cannot find them. They may be in particular country where you don't have any treaty. Like our vice president is in Indonesia today for treaty signing. Then tomorrow they will bring the Rajan. So that's why one provision is there.
And what about the DSC? Like if there is foreign directors, the digital signature has to be for all, or?
No, it is required to be in different, like in Companies Act, for annual return filing, for balance sheet filing, only one digital is sufficient. But for obtaining the DIN, you have to have a DIN. You have to have a digital signatures. So that is like this, as per the requirement.
Whether the company can purchase the property, like you said, in case of car, actually, it can be purchased in the name of the individual directors also.
Yes,
Company can purchase that.
it can be. It can be purchased in the name of director, it can be purchased in the name of company. But if you are purchasing in the name of director, then it is a director's property. It is not a company's property. You cannot do like this ki company has purchased the property in the name of director and company is paying that amount. So it is basically a loan to directors.
No, what is basically happening is in most of the cases the car are purchased by the company in the name of the directors for the purpose that the RTO charges are more if the car is purchased in the name of the company. So what most of the companies in India are doing is they are purchasing the car in the name of the individual director. All the funds are made, all the payments are made by the companies.
Sir, I agree, but they are but how they are doing? No, I'll tell you how they are making it legal. It's basically a loan to directors. It's basically in company's policy. If you have done a 5 years work, 5 years, or you are a particular above the general manager, company will give you a car. So basically, it's a loan. Company is giving a particular car to the director as an incentive.
But then
So company is paying, but car is in the name of
car
director.
is registered in the name of individual director, then the taxation from the RTO tax is lesser. And if it's purchased in the name of the company, it is 3 times. So what people are doing normally, what he is saying, that money is coming from the company.
Yes.
Company is
recording it.
recording as an asset in their balance sheet, but the registration in the books of RTO is the name of the individual director. That is wrong.
So basically, it's wrong.
And what second thing is, in case of properties also the same thing is happening. Agricultural land cannot be purchased by the non-agricultural companies, cannot purchase it. Some other permissions are required. Most of the companies are purchasing the property in the name of the individual directors. The registry is done in the name of the individual directors. Funds are, the payment is done from the company and it is recorded in the books of the company.
It is
Totally wrong.
It is totally wrong.
So what would be the auditors, the disclosure would be required and the disqualification in the report should be there, or what else?
No, it is totally wrong.
Very wrong.
It is totally wrong. It is basically, you can say
Yeah.
it is void transaction as far as this is concerned. Because now in Indore also, as per Ceiling Act, one company cannot purchase more than 30 acres. So what they are doing, the one company is making a payment and it is distributed in all the companies, 30 acres each in 10 companies. So
Yeah.
but there was a landmark decision by Supreme Court recently, just 2 months back, that if you will do this, you have to apportion it, and then company has gone for the compounding key. Your act is saying as a land ceiling act. So if you are buying the property in 10 companies, so we can buy it in 10 companies, payment will be made from one company. So that particular suitable entry, you have to do it. But in case of director, definitely not. Private limited company into a LLP. See, basically I'll tell you, when Reliance Group has formed a LLP for their investment companies, everybody has flourished, ki something is there, so we'll form a LLP. They have a specific purpose, taxation purpose definitely, because dividend distribution tax is not there on the LLP. And LLP is a very good vehicle only as far as service industry is concerned. For manufacturing, I have not find any particular suitable reason or the cause why LLP should form in a manufacturing concern. In service industry, in practicing professional, LLP is a good vehicle. But otherwise, I don't think it's so much of beneficial. But today, earlier MAT was not applicable to LLP. Last Finance Act, MAT is also applicable. Today, dividend distribution tax is not applicable. Tomorrow it may. So you have to understand the purpose, why you are making it. That is important. More easier if you want to just close the company. So it is better you convert it into LLP, withdraw your capital, it's finished. You have saved all the legal expenses of winding up and strike off. So purpose is important. Yes, please.
As good as the responsibility of a whole-time director, right? But then how is it possible for an independent director to practically, I'm talking about, not the theoretical point of view, but practically I don't think it's possible. Maybe you have a different view to this, that an independent director can cope up with the
See, I'll tell you, now days are gone when the person, as sir has said, कि maybe will resign from the directors. Now days are gone when people are becoming a director just for the fashion, just for the namesake. If you are an independent director, definitely you have certain rules, certain roles and responsibilities. If you will see the Satyam case, the whole board, including the independent director, nobody can say we were in the dark. So, if you have received the notice, you are receiving the agenda papers, you are receiving the complete set of minutes. If something is not recorded in the minutes and has happened, then you can say, then it is a category of fraud. But if everything is there, board report is there, balance sheet is there, meeting of independent director is there, independent director is a part of audit committee, independent director is a part of nomination committee, CSR committee, everywhere it is there. So now it's not a free job. If you are just becoming independent director for the name, it will not serve a purpose. But everything is on the paper, everything is on the black and white. Now days are gone where you are hiding anything and doing it in the company. It is ultra virus. So everything is on the black and white. Now all related party transactions is to be approved by audit committee. So now that's why under the new act the sitting fees has increased up to 1 lakh rupees. So if there are 10 meetings, you can take a 10 lakh rupees from the companies and companies are paying it. So now the independent director is also a full-time job. If you will see the topmost independent directors like Naresh Chandra, like Narayan Murthy, or I'll say Kiran Majumdar Shaw, they are on the board and they are drawing a salary of 50-60 lakhs just being independent directors.
Friends, एक क्वेश्चन लास्ट ले लेते हैं. Yeah.
देखिए आपको मैं बताऊं, ऑर्डिनरी कोर्स ऑफ बिजनेस ये एक ऐसी टर्म थी जिसको हर कोई यूज करना चाहता था कि ये तो हमारा ऑर्डिनरी कोर्स ऑफ बिजनेस है. इवन दिस मैटर हैज वेंट टू द कोर्ट इन वन ऑफ द मैटर and ministry has specifically say we cannot define the four walls of the ordinary course of business. So for a different business, ordinary course of meaning is different. You cannot apply a one rule, it is in the ordinary course of business. For finance company, giving a loan is an ordinary course of business. But for normal trading company, giving a loan is not an ordinary course of business. So definitely ordinary course of business precaution, if anywhere you are taking, please be more cautious, please be more documented, take the other quotations. Like same thing is with the arm's length price. Everybody is saying it is on the arm's length. आज भी क्या बोल रहे हैं कि तो arm's length पे मार्केट में भी इतने में मिलता है. But arm's length means what? Not only the price, even the terms and conditions. If somebody is giving a credit of 1 month and you are taking a credit of 10 months, it's not an arm's length. So these two terms are really very tricky. Ordinary course of business and arm's length. You cannot take the plea, you cannot take the benefit as far as your benefit is concerned. We are using the words whenever we are comfortable. So law is not as per the comfort. No, disclose it. Take the approval. Now for the related party transactions, you have to take approval of shareholders. And in your private company, all your relatives are shareholders. So where is the problem? Just take it. File the resolution. और related party में भी काफी सारे relaxations अभी आ गए हैं. Even for a listed company, quorum का वो provision हटा दिया. Earlier it was there कि related shareholder cannot participate. Now just they have to disclose it. They can participate. For a listed company, you just take approval for your subsidiaries also. And obvious omnibus approval is there. In your audit committee, you have taken a consolidated approval. So, if you will take the benefit as far as your comfort is there, definitely you cannot follow the law.
Can we take a general approval for entering transaction related party without mentioning any civil? This is general, not case to case. Can we take?
In 188.1, sir, definitely you can take, because it's a general approval. You are taking a limit, is such higher limit. If your turnover is just 1 lakh, you are taking approval of 10 crores, 1 crore. You can definitely take it. Yes, general approval you can take it, definitely. You just give a nature of business. It's not every time it is the same nature of business, but you just give it, disclose it properly, you can take it.
Friends? Yeah, sure. कर लीजिए एक बार.
No, it is not required, because there is a big confusion. It is my personal opinion. Definitely it's not an expert opinion, you can take it. But in my personal opinion, under the Indian Contract Act, lien, charge, pledge, mortgage, everything is defined differently. Even if you will see the form CHG 1, it has been written movable properties not being a pledge. So FDR is nothing, it's just a liquid bank account only. See, lien, you are saying the word lien, I am saying it pledge. Now tell me the difference. I am saying it's a pledge of FD. It's my own money. So FD is nothing but a bank account. It's not basically a asset in real terms as far as this charge provision is concerned. Definitely. Even pledge on shares, it is not required to create. सर कंपनीज एक्ट के प्रोविजन नंबर सेक्शन नंबर 1 से लेके सेक्शन नंबर आखिरी तक सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है जहाँ जहाँ पे वो प्रोविजन लग रहा है. बट उसके लिए मेरा सजेशन ये है कि सपोज आपके पास प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी है जिसमें कोई काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप उसको बंद कर दीजिए, स्ट्राइक ऑफ कर दीजिए.
बंद करना आसान है?
बंद करना बहुत आसान है. पुराने एक्ट में बंद करना नहीं था, बट अभी नए एक्ट में और पुराने एक्ट में भी वो ले आए थे स्ट्राइक ऑफ का प्रोविजन. बट उसकी एक ही कंडीशन है कि उसमें आपकी कोई भी असेट्स और कोई भी लाइबिलिटीज नहीं होना चाहिए. आप उस कंपनी को स्ट्राइक ऑफ कर दीजिए. अभी वो दिन गए जब आप ये कहने में सबको मजा आता था मेरे पास 150 कंपनी है, 200 कंपनी है. आपके पास जो वर्किंग कंपनीज है उसको रखें. दूसरा एक और प्रोविजन है डॉर्मेंट कंपनी का. ये प्रोविजन भी पुराने एक्ट में नहीं था. अभी यदि आपके पास कोई ऐसी कंपनीज हैं जिसमें आप फॉर द टाइम बिंग काम नहीं कर रहे हैं और असेट लाइबिलिटीज हैं, तो आप उसको डॉर्मेंट कंपनी की तरह डिफाइन कर सकते हैं और उस डॉर्मेंट कंपनी को वापस एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोसीजर करके आप लाइव कर सकते हैं. सो दैट कंपनी विल बी शोन एज अ डॉर्मेंट कंपनी. पर ये आपको हर कंपनी का एक आपको एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा कि कौन सी कंपनी आपके किस यूज की है. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स जब हम कंपनी बनाते हैं, जैसा मैंने बोला 1 असेट 1 कंपनी. अब आपने एक कंपनी बनाई है किसी असेट के लिए, तो मेरा ये कहना है कि आपको उसका एक एनुअल रिटर्न बैलेंस शीट ही तो फाइल करना है. बाकी की जो रेगुलर प्रोसीजरल्स हैं, फॉर्मेलिटीज हैं, वो आपका कंसल्टेंट प्रोफेशनल कर लेगा. बट आपको उससे जो बेनिफिट मिलने वाले हैं वो उसकी कॉस्ट से डेफिनेटली बहुत ज्यादा रहेंगे यदि आप उसका प्रॉपर एनालिसिस करेंगे तो.
When a stronger professional is there, the professional opportunities are always going to be there. हम लोग VI में एक प्रोग्राम लेते हैं छोटी छोटी बातें करके. कोशिश होती है कि अलग अलग जो इतने सारे एक्ट्स होते हैं, वी आर लिविंग इन अ कंट्री ऑफ वेयर नंबर ऑफ लॉज आर देयर, नंबर ऑफ कंप्लायंसेस आर देयर. तो कोशिश रहती है 1 घंटे 1.5 घंटे में पूरे लॉज कवर करते हैं जो डे टू डे बेसिस पे इंडस्ट्रीज को अप्लाई होते हैं. उसमें हम लोग इनकम टैक्स, सेल टैक्स, सर्विस टैक्स, वैट के कंप्लायंस जो होते हैं, एक नॉर्मल प्रिकॉशन विच एन इंडस्ट्री, the professional and the accountant should take in day to day routine. So next month that program would be there. We will be incorporating 5 to 10 minute session in that program on the company law also with such an hefty penalty. It would be better if we create an awareness on that part. We would slightly change that program to incorporate this part also. You can attend the program in the next month. Actually, the Facebook page is there and the communication you would be receiving from our office. So you can participate in that programs. Friends, now I would request for the concluding remarks and the vote of thanks, the chairman of the Nagpur branch, CS Manish Rajvet ji.
CS Ashish Garg sir has guided us very well throughout. I thank you, CS Ashish Garg. I thank and appreciate efforts by directors and entrepreneurs who are here to understand what law requires them to comply with, members of ICSI and other professionals, Vidarbha Industries Association for organizing this program jointly with ICSI and Nagpur chapter. Thank you all.